everyone, and welcome to HP Critical, the podcast for all your gaming news and reviews. I'm here with Toby this week, and we're going to be discussing a little bit about Nintendo and some of what's been going on within gaming in the past week. So, Toby, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello. I've just thought. Sorry to just intervene your intro. I've just thought. No, never mind. Okay, I've just ruined it for no reason now. So sorry.
No, it's fine. I only said that because I feel like I haven't had you in a podcast since like the first one, I believe, the digital versus physical, right?
I think that was the first and only one so far.
Yeah, it's been a while. So welcome back. It's nice to have you back because I always love talking with you. And because I know that you love Nintendo so much, this one is kind of centered around Nintendo stuff. It's not our E3 predictions podcast for Nintendo, which is coming soon, but we are going to talk a little bit about news that's been happening in Nintendo. So first, I'll talk about some gaming news. Something that we saw recently was the possible reveal of some Nintendo Switch Online NES games for this month. The supposed upcoming titles include Donkey Kong Jr., Clue Land, and Versus Excitebike. So I personally am not as invested as other people in the NES online games for Switch. I actually don't really play them because I'm not an NES fan. I'm not a fan of like older games, period. So I wanted to know what you thought about the ones coming, or at least what you would like to see come to the NES Nintendo online service Switch game thing.
Game thing. A lot of the ones that I used to play as a kid are actually already on there, i.e. all the classic Marios and Double Dragon. One thing they haven't put on there is the Turtles game, which was so difficult.
The Turtles game?
Yeah, there was a Ninja Hero Turtles game.
I've never heard of this.
And used to be you could play as all four of them, and it was like a top-down game, and then you'd go into like the sewers and it'd be side-scrolling. But I always used to play as Donatello because he was my favourite, but that was really good.
Oh, a Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Hero Turtles, because Ninja is, new and not what they were originally called, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So, in general, actually, I'll ask you, since you did say that a lot of the titles are there, how do you feel about the NES games on the Switch for their subscription service?
It's good. It's good for, I have played it a bit. I haven't played it like a hell of a lot, because I've played a lot of the games to death, and a lot of them are also part of the 3DS Ambassador program, which I played on the 3DS as well. So there's a lot more now scope, and I think it's a good idea. But I played Star Tropics, which I'd never played before, so it was nice to be able to play that. And I actually finished that. But yeah, I think it's a nice little service. It's a good little... I don't know if it's a good incentive for people who aren't used to the old style of games. I feel like it would be nice to chuck in something else as an online service with it.
So basically, for people like me who is not into those games, because I haven't touched any of them.
Yeah.
And of course, this is me, and I shouldn't compare it to, the PlayStation service and the Xbox service. But PlayStation's been kicking ass at the games that they've been giving. So when I saw the lineup, I was like, eh. And then I was looking at some of the ones coming out, and I was like, eh, no thank you. So it would be nice. I agree. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think people naturally are going to compare it to PlayStation and Microsoft's...
Okay, well, really quick then, how do you, and this is going a little off topic, but how do you feel about that? Because I was on Twitter earlier, and, some people were saying we shouldn't compare them, obviously, because one is a $20 service, the other is a $60 service, and they're very different. And I agree, I do think that they're very different, but I also think that in the same vein, they're kind of the same thing. We're paying for online service. They're usually giving us the same thing, which is cloud saves, the ability to play with other people, etc. So essentially, since we're getting the same thing, I feel like we should be able to compare them, but what do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much think the same as you. I don't actually know the costs and pricings of PlayStation Plus and the Microsoft Games Pass thing that they have.
Both, Xbox Live and PSN are both $60 for the year. I forgot how much it is per month.
Oh, right, okay. Essentially, yeah, you are literally... I don't know why people are saying you shouldn't compare, because you are literally paying for the same thing. You're paying for an online subscription service, which is what the others provide. And whereas, I guess, PlayStation and Xbox give you current games or games that are a couple years old, you're getting more this-gen games, which is, I guess, where people think it's unfair, because with the Nintendo subscription, you're getting older games from like 20-odd years ago. But that's just a decision that they've made. So if it was like, if they were giving you games that were current, maybe a couple years old, or from the Wii, or something from their back catalogue that wasn't from the NES and are a bit niche now, people wouldn't be being like, yeah, you can't compare the two. They'd be like, yeah, that's fine, compare them. So
exactly, especially for $20.
Yeah, I don't, just because it's cheaper or because it's a different quality of game, that you would not be able to compare them. I think, yeah, that's a bit of a cop-out.
Perfect. So I'm not wrong then, because I have been comparing them. And I still think that... Huh?
I was going to say, it's all just people's opinions at the end of the day, isn't it, I guess? People are gonna hate everywhere or not hate.
Yeah, no, I do think that it's okay to compare them. And I still compare them because I think that if we're all giving Nintendo $20 a year, I still have some issues with the way that they handle their online service. Anyway, yeah, so games like Smash and Pokemon that's coming up, I think it's really important that they figure out what they're going to do to try to fix some of the issues that have been going on, especially with, I don't know, obviously, because I'm not a developer, I don't work at Nintendo, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but trying to download Joker during when he came out for Smash, it was a disaster.
Was it hideous? I didn't hear about any of that, but I haven't still got Joker. I've only played against him.
Oh, yeah. Like, literally, the entire online service just shut down. It was really horrible. We couldn't get into the game. No one could get into the game. And it wasn't just affecting Smash either. I had a friend who bought Final Fantasy X on the same day. Couldn't download the game to even play it because the servers were just completely down. Like, I don't know if it was just because everyone was trying to get on at the same time. I'm not sure. Nintendo even, made a tweet about the fact that they knew the servers were destroyed. I couldn't play Smash at all that night. Couldn't do the update. It was really horrible. And I was like, if this happened anywhere else, it would be a really big deal. But, we accept things from Nintendo because we love them.
Yeah. Well, I guess we shouldn't in some respects. You definitely should get a better online service for when, now that we're paying for it, there is an aspect of...
Exactly.
You need to kick their butts into gear with online, because they're always 2 steps behind with that. But I think, general playing terms like Splat and Smash and Mario Kart and stuff, I haven't had any problems with lag or like...
Oh, my lag in Smash was horrible sometimes.
It's a silly thing to say in this day and age as well, lag. Yeah, no, I haven't had that much. I did in the beginning with Smash, but never that much anymore.
Yeah, I had with Smash too. It's better. And a little bit with Mario Kart. Never really with Splatoon, but it's getting better. I just wish that now that I'm giving them $20 a year, that it would,
you would eliminate that completely.
Because really, it's just been, to me, it's really just been the same performance that I had before I was paying them. So, yeah. But enough of me talking shit about their online service, because obviously I'm still using it, and I'm going to be using it when Pokemon comes out, and when Animal Crossing comes out, and I'm going to continue to use it when Smash has more character DLC, so I'm going to stop complaining now, and move on and talk about some of the eShop releases for May. So I know we looked over the list a little bit, and I was going to ask, what are some of the upcoming releases for Nintendo eShop that you are personally interested in? So
there's the Puyo Champions that comes out next week. That one, I've never played the original, because I know there was one that came out kind of when the Switch came out, or not long after.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
But that looks fun, and it looks fun to play as multiplayer, and I've heard good things from various people. And then Saints Row, I'm sort of interested in that. I've never played a Saints Row game. So I'm kind of interested to see what that's like, although I probably won't get it in May or anytime at the moment, but definitely one that I will keep my eye on. But yeah, I don't think there's that much out in May that I'm massively looking forward to, other than those two. There's probably loads of indie ones that I'll look at though, because whenever I go on the eShop, I'm constantly seeing stuff that I don't know is coming out, and then hello.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go off the topic a little bit again and ask you something about the eShop then, and indie titles. Do you feel that it's how do you feel like Nintendo's handling it? Do you feel like it's a bit overcrowded at the moment, hard to search through, or do you think it's fine the way it is?
No, it's definitely not fine the way it is. It's like the biggest gripe of every Switch fan. I think Switch owner even, they definitely have needed to sort it out since like day one. I mean, it's been like 2.5 years nearly, and they still haven't managed to like get any kind of proper filtering system or way of ordering them. It's horrible how everything's just stacked up. Because I mean, I use the watch list like regularly. I'm always putting stuff on my watch list because otherwise you'll just lose everything. But they are pretty much overrun with just so much stuff on there.
Yeah, there are a lot of indie titles.
Or that something's coming out, you really are just going to lose track of things, which I guess would affect sales for the earlier games. But then a lot of them, they have so much on sale at once. I always look at that tab as well, the offers tab, and then they've developed this nifty little thing now where they send, I don't know if they do your side of the world, I'm presuming they do, but Nintendo UK have been sending out sneaky little emails when something on the watch list is on sale. They just mouldy want to buy it. So they didn't used to do that. They only started that recently. So it's quite a good little marketing trick they got there. So even when you aren't regularly looking at your watch list, you sometimes get a little reminder to say, this is on sale, thought you might like this one. But yeah, they definitely need to sort something out in terms of, I don't know if they ever will though, to be fair, because I feel like everyone's been saying this for ages and they still haven't done anything.
It's true. But I don't even know how they would. I mean, there's so many games at this point. Yeah. So many games.
You can search, I guess, and like you can, in the search function, you can select different genres, and the Discover tab is quite handy because that's got different monthly highlights and then stuff that's on offer, stuff that's upcoming, and it's better than it was, but I still think it could do with some work. Yeah. It's a bit bland as well, the general outlook of it. It's just like orange and white. There's no pizzazz. I think the layout of the Wii U eShop looked a lot nicer.
I'm still waiting for themes on my Switch so that I can do something more than just black and white. I mean, even give me like the 3DS theme thing package that we had. Those were wonderful.
Sounds and stuff. And
yeah, those themes were wonderful. I'd love to just take them on to my Switch in the background. But some games that I'm looking forward to from this May are Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 0, and Team Sonic Racing, because I just finished Resident Evil 2 for the first time. Is it 2? And that was my first full Resident Evil playthrough of a game. Not too bad. So I figured if I can do that, I can do anything.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot about the Resi games, yeah. Resident Evil 4 is definitely on there, but I won't probably be buying it.
I mean, same, not anytime soon. I have a bunch of other games that I need to be playing anyway. So moving on, there was a Nintendo newsletter that suggested that Cadence of Hyrule will be released this month. For those who don't remember, Cadence of Hyrule was announced back at their indie showcase in March. It was revealed during the Nindie Direct, and it is by Spike Chunsoft and Brace Yourself Games, and it is a sequel.
I don't know if it's a sequel, more of a spin-off.
There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Spin-off. Thank you. It is a spin-off of Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is an original rhythm combat title. So the newsletter suggested that game is going to be coming this month, and I was a little skeptical at that since we just literally got it announced 2 months ago, and it looked looked like it had a bunch of stuff going on within it, and it was listed for spring 2019. But I know that you said that's probably not surprising. So what do you think about it coming out this month?
Yeah, I don't think it would be too surprising if it did. If it did come out this month, I feel like it would be the end of the month, like the last week, because they love chucking in a release right at the end, like a nice, good release. Not that they're all rubbish, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I've never played the original, so I really don't understand how the combat, dungeon crawling, and rhythm come into play together. I'm obviously just excited for this, being the massive Zelda fan that I am, because it's Zelda inspired and got all the characters and all that jazz.
So, well, what did you think about that too? Because when I was watching the Nindies, I was like, oh, there's this game that I probably would never play that now has Link and Zelda. Okay. Yeah. It was, it wasn't like exciting to me. It was surprising to me. But then again, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan when it comes to that specific franchise. So was that, well, I guess I know that, yes, it was enough to pull you in to play this game. But would you have played the game without Zelda and Link in it?
I don't know. I don't think... No, probably not, because I haven't played the game, the other one, and that's not got Zelda and Link in it. It's not on my watch list. I have seen it and I've heard good things, but I always just look at it and there's something about it that stops me from getting it, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because I don't understand the concept of it, or I don't know, something stops me taking the leap, but I know I've heard like good things about it in general. I guess it's the same. It was the same with Hyrule Warriors, to be fair, when that came out. If it was a standard Warriors game, I wouldn't have looked twice, but the fact that it was Zelda and Warriors combined, I was like all over it. So basically anything that's Zelda related, I'm instantly gonna get.
Was it the same for you with Starlink then?
But I did wait for Starlink. I've got Starlink, but I waited till it was a bit cheaper and then got it. Which I was really glad about, because that was awesome. I find it quite an underrated little gem for the Switch.
Cool, because I know some people were not too thrilled with it, so it's good to hear some positive talk about that game, Starlink. But yeah, so I personally, I'm kind of interested. I had actually never heard of Crypt of the Necrodancer before the preview, and then I saw Link and Zelda were in it, and I thought, oh my gosh, they're super cute. So I was like, yeah, this might be one that I look at and pick up in the future. But I think it's so interesting that Nintendo teamed up with the studio to be able to bring some of their most iconic characters into such a game. And it's definitely gotten hugely more popular after the Nindies, and it'll be interesting to see how many people are now interested in it just because of Link and Zelda, and that's just the power of Nintendo mascots. It's ridiculous.
I think it will do well, yeah, to be fair, because it is quite a big step for them to allow their beloved characters into such a niche little small indie game, because they don't do that very often. I can't remember the last time Zelda's obviously one of their biggest franchises, and it is quite a good sign to see them mixing with the smaller indie developers and stuff.
Do you think that if this one does really well, it'll open the door for other titles? Because, Mario is not so surprising. So, when you get something like Mario and Rabbids, it's like, that's not something I'd pair together. But, I mean, he's been a little bit of everywhere.
Sonic, on your phone. He's everywhere now.
Exactly. But then to see, Link and Zelda in this form, in this new art style as well, I thought was just really interesting. So, do you think this will possibly lead to other things in the future?
Could do, yeah. Or potentially sequels with more Zelda-inspired gaming of the same vein.
I'm just excited because I want to see how these iconic characters take on the art style of other franchises and genres. Some of them are just not good. Rabbids Peach is hilarious, but also disgusting. So sometimes it's sometimes it's just really funny. But they're just super cute in here. But speaking of Nintendo allowing their franchises to flourish elsewhere, we have next week Pokemon Detective Pikachu coming out, and obviously I am super excited because I'm such a huge Pokemon fan. I'm so happy. People have been talking about how this movie takes the video game movie curse and breaks it, which, I mean, I think the Warcraft movie did that, but that's just me. So we've got some really good reviews coming out about this movie, and I'm super duper excited for it. I've watched every trailer there is. I think it's going to be hilarious. I am a Ryan Reynolds fan, and I'm a huge Pokemon fan, so I can't wait to see it. Definitely going the night that it's released. What are your thoughts on it based on just what you've seen so far?
It looks awesome. I really like the look of the Pokemon. I love the textures, and they look so fluffy.
They do look fluffy.
I just want to pick Pikachu up and give him a big cuddle. Yeah, I think it looks really good. I am quietly excited because I don't want to get too excited in case I build my hopes up and then it's not as good as I think. But like you said, it seems to be having a positive reception, but I'm purposely not really reading any or watching any video reviews that have kind of come out, the few that I've seen on Twitter and stuff. I just want to go in with an unbiased opinion and make my own mind in that sense for this one.
So I definitely should have done that, and I totally didn't. I've watched everything.
Really?
Yes, everything that's come out. I'm like, give it to me.
Yeah, no, I want to just go in fresh, but I don't like Ryan Reynolds. I like him.
No,
I can look at his face. That's fine for me, but he's just. Oh no, I don't always like. I was really not happy with the choice of him being the voice of Pikachu. But having seen so many trailers and little tidbits and promos they've done, his voice as Pikachu has grown on me. So I think I'll learn to adjust to the fact that he is Detective Pikachu, and it won't be an issue, so it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm looking forward to it.
I know that some people had issues with, obviously, Pikachu's voice. One of the biggest ones. They're like, this is not like Pikachu. But I mean, I saw it and I just thought, I'll take it. It works for me. I think for me personally, it was some of the looks of some of the Pokemon that kind of just threw me off a little bit. They kind of, I remember I saw Jigglypuff for the first time, and I was like, oh, she looks like a disgusting gremlin. I don't like this at all. This looks really bad.
I didn't think looks right as well. Jigglypuff was the one, because she looked too furry to me. I didn't think she'd be furry.
It was just like a big fur ball with a creepy face on it, and I was like, oh no, like this is so bad. I also didn't like the look of Flareon, which, I know a lot of people liked, but I did not. And then I saw Eevee, and I was like, oh, that is not my fluffy, cute Eevee. I don't like its face. Like, I have some issues with a lot of the Pokemon. But Pikachu is just adorable. And then some of them actually look really good. Like, I think we got a shot of Pidgeotto recently and a Tauros. And Pancham is adorable as fuck. And
I saw Pancham.
Pancham and Pangoro. I like and Bulbasaur.
Aren't they?
Say it again? What?
They're the pandas, Pancham.
Yes. They're adorable. Bulbasaur is just super, super cute. Like, they're just, some of them I'm just like, oh, this is, a magical experience. I think what I'm most excited for is to see just the way that the movie creates this living, breathing world full of Pokemon.
Yeah. That is what is exciting, I think, for the Pokemon fans around the globe, because it is literally like the first live action Pokemon film, and it's really weird that it's taken this long to make, firstly, and secondly that out of all of the Pokemon things that have come out, they've based it on a spin-off that barely anyone has played, Detective Pikachu. Everyone thinks probably like, oh my god, this is just a random Pokemon film that has no relevance to anything, but it's like, I don't think Detective Pikachu did massively well over here. I don't know about America and the rest of the world. I presume it probably got eaten up in Japan, to be fair, but I don't know many people that have even played it apart from like you guys.
Yeah, I think actually that it was a really smart decision to base it on something like Detective Pikachu, because if you do something like the movie, they've already been, excuse my language, but a shit ton of Pokemon films. And we kind of already know what to expect. And that can definitely, in my opinion, obviously, take some of the audience away from the film. So let's say that they decided to base it on, Ash or Red or someone from the anime. This now has become, instead of just a film for people who've, for everyone, it's now become a film for people who've seen the anime, or a film for people who've played the game, if that makes sense. Basing it on something such as, Detective Pikachu, it's like, okay, everybody knows Pikachu. Pikachu's a detective, this might not be like you said, like they might not know that it's a game, but then that kind of brings in the viewpoint of it being not just for fans, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, I can see that. And I guess if they did it on something that was more well-known and loved, there'd be there is a big expectation, but I think there'd be more of an expectation.
Exactly. Like, okay, who are they going to cast as Ash? Who are they going to cast as Misty? Who are they going to cast as Brock? How faithful are they going to be to the anime? How faithful are they going to be to the manga? How faithful are they going to be to the video games? Is this going to be exactly like the movie we've already seen before? There are a bunch of things that come with that. So I'm actually really excited that they decided to take Detective Pikachu as the premise, because then it allows for the audience to be a part of it, especially if you haven't played the game, since like we said, a lot of people probably haven't. You've already got the plot set up as a mystery film. You've got intrigue, you've got emotion, empathy, like you've got the gamut of feelings in this movie, and it's led by a talking Pikachu that's adorable. Like, you can't go wrong.
I know, yeah. I think that's why I was less surprised as well by the voice. I didn't like the choice of voice from the first instance, but it didn't surprise me that they picked someone who was completely not how Pikachu you'd expect to sound, because that's exactly the same as the game. He is like a tough talking, weird, deep voiced Pikachu. No, that is not your voice. Why is that?
And another thing that I really enjoy is when the movies decide to take on a separate storyline from being a Pokemon trainer. And by that I mean we know that Justice Smith, who's the character, is the guy who plays the character whose name I can't remember right now. He is, he was an aspiring Pokemon trainer, and that didn't work out for him, and now he has to live his life as normal. And I love those type of stories because I do think that they take us in a new direction, especially for that hits for people who are younger and older, because we've all passed that age of going outside and being a Pokemon trainer. What is it, like 10 or 11 or whatever it is? Mm-hmm. Like we're all past that age now, so we've lost that opportunity to go out and be a Pokemon trainer. So what happens to us then? And I that's one of the things I really love about Pokemon, the Pokemon movie, The Power of Us, because it also explores that with one of the characters who she's like super old and she's never caught a Pokemon before, and then everyone's like, what? And like this guy, that dream didn't work out for him. So I think it's really cool to look at the movie in that sort of form and give us that type of story, especially since it does relate to a lot of our own experiences, because obviously Pokemon are not real, and once you pass that age of, oh my god, this is the big thing right now, you move on to a nostalgia thing, and either you're still a fan or you're not. And this I think this plot will definitely, and this character will definitely be very relatable to a lot of people. So I'm super excited for it. I'm like analyzing a movie I have not seen yet. That's how excited I am for this movie. But there was recently, speaking of animated films, there was recently another little guy out there. We finally got the trailer for the Sonic movie, and people have been comparing it to Pikachu. There's actually an article on our site written by Marissa where she compares Pikachu versus Sonic and the difference between them, and the labor of love that is evident in Pokemon, and the Sonic that we got. And I know you have opinions about Sonic, so what did you think of that one?
Yeah, I've never been a massive Sonic fan. I'm quite a casual Sonic fan, but even that, with saying that, yeah, he just looks hideous. He looks disgusting. Jim Carrey as Robotnik, or Eggman, whatever the hell you want to call him, it is literally just like Jim Carrey didn't even, in the short clip they showed, I got no vibes of him being Robotnik. I'm going to stick with Robotnik because that I automatically feel, yeah, I literally got nothing. I didn't even feel like he embodied the character. I didn't feel like, the only bit was literally the very end where you saw the big old twiddly moustache. Before that, I was like, no, you're just like a weird villain that has no relation to Sonic. It didn't even seem like a villain. It was just, I didn't even like the script. Like, the jokes seemed corny and like not even funny, and yeah, just no. Literally the best bit for me was the rings around the Paramount logo. That was it. I liked the ring. That was a nice little touch, but that was it.
I thought, I thought the ring was just really weird. I was like, what? This big ass, like, you just throw around this big ass ring out of nowhere. This is so crazy. I did not hate the movie as much as everyone else did, actually. I think that the movie didn't take itself seriously, especially with the song choice in the trailer. So I was like, yeah, okay, this is going to definitely be something that's meant to be funny and fun. I still do think that Sonic looked really weird. I can't take that back. He looked creepy as all get out. Like, I was like, this is not the way to do it.
His moldy long legs, his moldy teeth. Yeah.
Especially compared to Pikachu, which just came out. Like, if you're gonna do any type of movie that's gonna, this is like Battleborn versus Overwatch. You can't put a movie out that's gonna be compared to another film, knowing how big Pikachu is, knowing how adorable he is, and knowing how hype everyone is for this, and then you take another classic iconic character such as Sonic, and people are obviously gonna compare them, and Sonic just looks creep. Like, the entire time I was just like, he looks so bad. But it was also really funny, and I love Jim Carrey. I thought this was like quintessential old Jim Carrey who's gonna make me laugh.
Yeah, it was. That's what it was, like his normal zany, wacky character, but it didn't fit Robotnik. That's what I felt. It didn't fit like how he was supposed to be that villain. I don't know.
I mean, I don't really know how Robotnik would be like. Well, I don't know how anyone would embody Robotnik, really, other than just being weird.
Yeah, I guess he's weird. Like too much of like verbal or much of a personality in the games. I mean, so it's not like, I don't know. There's just something that didn't sit right with me.
Okay, well, that aside, we already know that they're actually going to change
everything.
Pretty much.
Redo the whole film because everyone hates him.
Yeah, we found out that they're literally going to redo Sonic's design, and I feel two ways about this.
About the redesign? Yeah, fine. To be honest, I don't really know. I think I would watch the film either way, but depending on how he gets redesigned anyway, it was a bit of a random. I was quite surprised when they said that, to be fair, just to because they're surely going to have to redo like the whole film, like all their work, because all the CGI stuff, like, it's going to affect everything, isn't it? So the way Sonic looks, it's not just going to be like, let's just quickly delete this bit and rub that out. Like, I don't know, I was surprised when I heard they were redoing his design, because you would have thought this is something you would have gone into before you started doing the film. Like, surely, I don't know how they designed the Sonic they did and thought he looks okay. Yeah, he looks literally like the Sonic that everyone wants to see with his lanky legs and his disgusting teeth. Yeah, that is definitely the one we all want to see. And then they decide to release a long trailer and be like, oh, okay, no, now we've had everyone hates it, we're going to do it again. It's just a weird. I don't get it. I mean, it's fine.
So I was talking to Marissa about this a little bit as well, and she was. I'm pretty sure it was her who was saying, they most likely have. So there have been a few different sayings going around about the situation, because I at first too was just very shocked that they said that they would be committed to redoing it for the fans. And so one of the things was that, this could have been something that people have been talking about, designers and developers have been talking about for a while. And there are people who have just been saying, no. And then fan reaction is just like, okay, yeah. Which leads us to believe that possibly they've already have a backup, maybe, just in case this happened, or they could have put this trailer out just to see fan reaction. And then if there was backlash, they already have like preparation for being able to go back and redesign the film. Either way, it puts us in such a weird situation, because recently there was the whole debacle of the Sekiro games and how they should be easy, and then people were like, no, you should respect the director's and the game creator and developer's decision. And then Sonic comes out and everyone's like, no, this is not Sonic at all, you need to change this. So it's such a weird situation to be in, for someone to put out a trailer, have a movie coming, and then just completely take it back because everyone's just like, no, this is not Like, this isn't it. So I do feel bad for everyone who has to go in and work on this movie all over again, because if I'm not mistaken, it's going to come out in November.
Oh, yeah, apparently. But is that it's still going to happen with the whole re-edit?
So this was another situation that was brought up. The fact that recently in the gaming community, we've been talking a lot about crunch times and overworking artists, etc. And this is probably going to be another prime example of a studio that's overworking their designers to try to get them to fit in a time period of release. So if it is going to come out in November...
Very true, yeah.
So if it is going to come out in November, I mean, that's a bunch... If they don't already have assets and like, are already ready for replacing Sonic in every scene of this movie, that's... I'm sorry, that's a lot of people that are going to have to go back and do a lot of work to make people happy. And I mean, at this point, there's not really much they can do, because if they don't, the film's going to bomb, and that's a lot of money to throw in the trash.
Either way, though, they're going to have lost out on money, because the amount of work they're having to put in it to redo it.
That's also true. I mean, it's so strange. It's such a strange situation.
It could have been a big publicity stunt, like people said, to be fair, just to, like you said, test the waters. But, or maybe they always knew that they were going to change it, and they just did it to get the attention. More. In
which case, I mean, you won. It happened. If that's what you wanted to do, it definitely worked. But I mean, it still kind of hurts the film, because once again, Pikachu's adorable. And I've just seen, if you Google it, literally you will just see Pikachu next to Sonic. Or you Google a movie and you will see Detective Pikachu coming up. So I don't know if this even... how much it helped Sonic, but it definitely boosted Pokemon, because I thought Jigglypuff looked like a weird gremlin, and then I saw Sonic and I was like, well, at least she's not like that. I can handle this. So like,
and you know what, they don't, Pikachu with a little coffee cup taking his little sip of coffee, like, it just can't even beat it.
And can we talk about the marketing for that movie? It has been so good. I know you haven't seen everything, but the song choices have been on the Pokemon Detective Pikachu trailer. The song choices have been perfect. We got a little bit of the Pokemon theme song reworked for one of them, but then you get like so many classic songs that just fit so well with the theme and the fun of what Pokemon Detective Pikachu is going to be. And then, you know, we got tweets about Pikachu and his coffee quips, and it's just like, this is going to be amazing. And all we got from Sonic was, I don't know, what did we get? Like, Uncanny Valley weirdness, and James Marsden, and Jim Carrey.
Oh, I love James Marsden as well. Shame on him.
Shame on him. Well, I mean, it all depends on what Sonic looks like after this is over, what he comes out looking like. Anyway, so do you have any final thoughts about any of this before we wrap up?
Yes, I do. So the good thing as well, just to sneak it back to Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
In London, over here in the UK, they had a pop-up cafe, which was
You guys got that?
Yeah, we got like a big pop-up cafe where it was just literally it had like Detective Pikachu themed drinks, like all the whole cafe was obviously Detective Pikachu themed, and it had like little plushies. My friend went and sent pictures, so I didn't get to go, but I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. Like, the fact that they've managed to have a pop-up cafe based on this film alone makes it feel a little bit more special.
I saw so many pictures of people going to them, and I saw the Pika Pika coffee and the drinks, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be there so badly. I had no idea you guys had one. It's just, man, marketing is on point for Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and it just all makes me so excited. I drank 3 cups of coffee yesterday trying to be Pikachu. I'm fully committed. I want to see this damn movie. Like, I'm so ready. Anyway, did you have anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming to talk to me, Toby. Thanks for podcasting with me today.
Hey, always a pleasure.
Always. I can't wait until we do our Nintendo prediction podcast, because E3's in, what, like 40, 50 days? I don't know how many days it is, but I know it's coming soon.
But it comes quicker every year.
Yes. And without Sony there, it's going to be a big show for Nintendo and Microsoft, and so we're going to talk all things Nintendo. So I'm super excited for that one, so everybody stay tuned, and we'll see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.